All right, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and take a look at another speed problem, this time approaching a problem from the other direction, looking for speed rather than doing something with the speed itself. So let's jump right in. The problem we're going to look at is a car travels 60 miles in 2 hours. What is its speed in miles per hour? So like before, we're going to think about what we know and how it fits into what we're solving for. So, organizing our information, distance is 60 miles. And if you're writing this on your paper, you're not going to want to write out distance each time. Instead, you're going to go ahead and just set it up. Abbreviating D is what I tend to do. I do write my units, though again, I will shorten those as well. Be careful with these distance problems. When we write miles per hour, mph, we abbreviate miles as an M, but when we're doing it here just as miles, you generally abbreviate that as MI. Now, why is that important? Because there's a lot of problems that deal with meters and then kilometers, and there the M will be the abbreviation. So just be aware of it. Sometimes it can switch around on you. Right, the other thing we know is that it takes 2 hours, so we're going to keep track of that. 2 hours. And then it is speed that we're looking for. So you see this is a little bit of a different setup than we had last time. And we didn't write a ratio because we don't have the initial distance and time set up. But these types of problems will always have these 3 components: a distance, a time, and a speed. So keeping the trio together and setting them up makes it really easy to see which is the one you don't have any information for. So that leads us straight into the next step, and that is the fact that we're looking for speed. That's what we're solving for. That's the unknown right now. And that's just going to tell us how fast something is moving. We're comparing it to sort of how far something is going in a certain amount of time, or how fast. So to find speed, you might be familiar with the formula. Speed equals distance divided by time, distance over time. And those are 2 things that we have. So the speed is equal to distance divided by time. And in our case, we know what those values are. We're going to do 60 divided by 2, and that's going to give us 30. And since we divided miles by hours, so the distance, which was in miles, the time, which was in hours, our unit is going to be miles per hour, or mph. Now, here's the answer again, 30 miles per hour. Next time, we're going to go ahead and solve this problem, but solve it in miles per minute. But before we do that, I do want to just quickly show you the other way we could have set this up using ratios. It starts off the same way, using the distance and time. When up until this point, when we've been looking at them, we've been using distance and time and broken up our speed into those 2 components. And we would have written the ratio of 60 miles in every 2 hours. And then we'd have to remember that when we're finding the rate, like speed, we always compare it to a single unit. So we have to change 2 hours into 1 hour. We are doing that by dividing by 2. And what we do on one side, we do on the other. So we also divide by 2. Now, 2 hours divided by 2 is 1 hour. 60 miles divided by 2 is 30 miles. And then this is a really familiar set of values. It's saying that we cover 30 miles in 1 hour, which means we're doing 30 miles per hour, which is the same answer that we had before. One of the things that I see a lot with the use of the formula is that the numbers are plugged in incorrectly. Instead of dividing 60 by 2, people might divide 2 by 60. Now, Honestly, this does not happen so much with this type of problem where the number we're dividing by is smaller than the number that is being divided. It's more common when people are using the larger number to be dividing it by the smaller number, whether or not it matches the actual quantity that we're looking at. So 60 divided by 2 is easy to set up, but if we had been dividing 60 by 120, people are more tempted to plug in 120 for the distance and 60 for the time rather than the other way around. So just be cautious of that. Make sure we're plugging in based on information we've collected from the problem, not because the math itself would have been easier to do. So the other thing is just keep thinking it's distance divided by time because that'll match those units. If you like this, or if you want to see more problems like this, follow me for simple math that makes sense, or visit coolwithmath.com to get some more practice.